All right. Hey, everybody. It is Monday. It's July 27th already. Can you believe it? We're coming off our Optavia Together Live weekend and excited to talk about that. We are Dee and Larry Corchin, and just wanted to share this. This is we always open every meeting. If you are a newer coach, welcome to our team. And we come together every Monday night for community, representing all different states all over the U.S. And this is one of my absolute favorite inspirational poems. And I felt like it followed so well on the weekend when they talked so much about, I don't know what you call it, empowerment, just reaching our full potential and not letting our head get in the way of our heart and what is really possible for us and for other people through what we offer. So you guys probably know this. This is Marianne Williamson, her Shine the Light poem. So I'll go ahead and read it for us as we get started. It says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us the most. We must ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." So I'll share that in the post when we do the recording of this as well. And Larry, you want to say anything to get us started?
Yeah, just we're excited to get together today. I hope you guys that attended the conference over the weekend got a lot of great information out of it. We enjoyed it. I mean, when you think about this whole COVID thing, I mean, really a shout out to those guys for pulling it off, doing a great job, and I felt like we learned a lot. So hope you did too, and got a lot of good nuggets.
So, Larry and I have been coaching for a while, not our first event, but every event is always powerful and a great shot of inspiration, knowledge, and just come out renewed with it. But the one thing that, as leaders that we have seen happen and what we don't want to happen to you is what we call the jacuzzi experience. And that means like over the weekend, if you were watching with us, it feels good. Like you're in the moment. It's like you're in the jacuzzi, right? And the water's warm and everybody's, in there together and it feels great. But then we come out, right? We got to dry off and we got to go out into the real world. And sometimes we hit obstacles, we hit challenges. Other people weren't in the jacuzzi with us, so they don't quite understand our renewed energy. And so we just thought we'd spend some time just talking about how do you hold on to that energy? How do you hold on to what's going on in your heart right now? And how do you utilize it to go out there and help a lot of people, which is our mission through our program and our coaching opportunity. And what we're going to do, what I'd love to hear from you guys, I asked you guys to share, to come prepared with your biggest takeaway, and maybe what you plan to do with it, what you plan to either do with that renewed energy or a specific action step. So if you guys want to pop that in the comments and the chat over the next 30 minutes while we're together, that would be great. We would love to see that. And we thought we'd start by sharing. I want to have 3 different people share with us tonight with your team members. One is going to be somebody who is fairly new to coaching, and this was her absolute first event. The second one is somebody who's been coaching for a couple of years. And then the next one is somebody who's been coaching longer, not as long as Larry and I, but longer. So it'll be interesting because at every stage, we gain something from these events that we can put into action. So first is going to be Connie Queen. You guys met Connie on the celebration call earlier in the month. She came right out of the chute, reached associate director her first month. But Connie, we would love to hear from you if you can unmute yourself and just share when you started and then what changed for you as a result of participating in Optavia Together Live.
Wow, I started June 4th. So I've been on program, and then I signed up to coach on the 11th. So 6 weeks, and said yes immediately to go to the convention, because I know that there's so much power in the collective of the we. And that was one of the big takeaways for me this weekend. I don't know about any of you, but I could hardly go to sleep last night. I was still percolating, like an old percolator coffee pot, and it bubbles up to the top and then it drips back down. And each time it does, it gets richer and the aroma is better. So that was kind of what I felt like was happening as I was processing and digesting so much of the information. And what impressed me and inspired me the most was the calm confidence of our leadership. There's an energy that comes from deep within them, right? It's a part of who they are. And each one of them possess this commitment to the worldwide mission that's so much larger than the individual person of this global health movement. And what I got so in touch with is that I am, and we all are, a piece of that movement. And so I was really empowered, like you mentioned, the empowerment of their strength. And it's not one from fear or driven by personal gain. It's the one that is fueled by the bigger purpose, the bigger passion, and of that human transformation technology that he was talking about. And that what I do, what we do matters in the world. We are creating change one person at a time. And my commitment to what I'm going to do every day is to be intentional every day. And then when I wake up tomorrow, it will be today. So I will be intentional again every day. And what I want to say is that let's do this. The collective power of the we, our team, my coach invited me to join and I said yes, made that decision to say yes. And then I stepped into coaching, and then with each invitation, people come. So ask people, invite people, and embrace the power of the we, because you know what? This is capital IS, the Optavia way, which is literally the optimal way to global health and human transformation technology. I mean, I am so grateful to be a part of this. So
thank you, Connie. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Ross with the clap there. I always saw that.
I
gave him the elbow. Clap now, honey.
I like the words you use, the calm confidence. And I think I shared this on one of the other calls, but I was talking to Dan Bell one time, and we were talking about that, there's a space of a calm confidence, which basically is, what you know, what you know. And anybody can reach that point. And what that means is, that what you have to offer people changes lives. And that's unshakable. So what you know, what you know. And it's okay if other people don't know. It's okay if they don't understand. It is okay if they don't say yes right now. But what you know, that you have something great. And like Connie said, it is our responsibility to get out there and share it, because people say yes, like the 51 of us on this call. So thank you.
All right.
So next, want to have you guys hear from Xena Friedman. So Xena, I think this was your third convention, right?
Fourth? My third, yes.
Third.
Your third. So a little further down the road. So tell us what it meant to you, and what are you going to do with this, with your experience?
Well, I have a little different stuff going on. First of all, I am so psyched after this. I am definitely percolating. But, I first started, I just became a coach. I went to Go Global. And that's where I got to see the heart of the company. It blew my mind, where Dr. A's cries and see who he is. I just fell in love. That's when I fell in love. And then I went to St. Louis and Phoenix. And, I thought, how's this going to work? Because I missed my peeps and our after parties. And to tell you the truth, after all of it, I realized for me, I kind of liked it because I'm such a people watcher. And so when I'm sitting there in the auditoriums, I'm looking all around so I had like tunnel vision, I had like blinders on, and I was really able to focus. So I love that. But I also, for me, I've done a lot of different, being better person. What this was for me was, I turned people onto it, and I asked them what they thought about it. And no, they said, well, they didn't talk about food, and they didn't talk about, this was about being the best version of you that you can be. For me, that's priceless. So for me, when I can be the best version of me and I can be there for other people, that's where I stand strong. So that's what it was for me. Dan Bell, when he said, what do you, being, I'm not the young mama, so what do you want to create for the remaining time in your life? My life is fabulous, and I've got a lot of time left to create some greatness. And so that excites me. And another thing was said, like, many people die with their music still in them. I'm going to be going out blaring my music. So this was great for me. This is what I needed so I can be there for people. Find your passion, lead by the future, act in the now. I hear that all the time, and I really didn't get it like I really got it now. So like when Dr. A said about skiing, well, so what he wants to do, he wants to ski, so he has to exercise now so he's able. And, so I do not, and I was happy to know that he doesn't like exercise, because either do I. So that really made it better for me. And as I slept with my shoes at my bed last night, great. I love, this is your show. Everyone wins when you show up better. I mean, this was all about, not that this was about me, but this was about me being the best that I can be, so I can really support my clients through their journey and see what about the life book and what it, I talk about it, I'm everybody with the life book, but I really get to see how it is all, this is the vision, this is how it all works, brings the puzzle, the last piece of the puzzle. I love this one, be the artist, take that mosaic pieces and, and put it all together, and then stand back and look. And that's, it was about dreaming for me. That's what it was for me. A couple real quick, I'll just be quick. This I loved. Let your future self coach you. What would you say? I think that's powerful, because, I wouldn't be giving myself any slack. So, so I love that, when I can think about what would I say to myself in all these situations, and fall back in love with yourself. I love that, So my future self, be fit, be fabulous, and be fierce. That's who I am.
Whoa.
Long after I'm gone, and I realize this, I want my inspiration to live on. And that's what I am creating now. And I'll finish with this. I love this, that I came up with that. This has given my wife, a wife that lives in passion for what she does. How amazing is that? I mean, to sit on couch and watch television or be passionate about changing lives and that's what I got. That's letting me share.
Awesome. Thank you, Zena. Thanks for sharing. I mean, you hit the nail on the head.
You're breaking up.
You got it? So you hit the nail on the head. I mean, really, when we were listening, it was all about mission. It was all about mission. It wasn't about, oh, we have to sell anything or do anything. It was all about mission. And that's what we're about. And it was just fun. It was fun to dream. It was fun to get inspired, like you said, Zena. And it was just great to see the impact. And I love this tonight because, again, we get to see how everybody's heart's being changed as a result of it. So thank you for sharing. All right.
Awesome. Well, we are going to move on. So I want to welcome Susan Gieslin. I have a core group of executive directors. I think they're all on that started with me. And, I guess they're just my rocks in our business, just side by side with us. And Susan has been a good friend and an incredible health coach. And Susan, how many conventions have you attended?
I think this was my 6th.
Okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So there could be a mindset, whether it's convention or coming to a team call, there could be the possibility that a thought would go through our heads like, yeah, I kind of know what they're going to say, or, do I really need to learn anything else? That could be one opinion, but you attend every event without hesitation. And so just kind of share with us why you do that, and then what in particular did you get out of this one?
Well, thanks for letting me talk today, but I have to say, tough act to follow, Xena and Connie. But, I was very hesitant about this event because we don't get to be together. And I'm like Xena, I love when we can all be together. There's that energy and that camaraderie and that family feel. But I, like Xena, could focus then. I was really able to focus. And one of the speakers that stood out for me was Dan Bell. And it's interesting because I've heard Dan Bell speak a lot, and many of us have, and he can be kind of on the dry side, very much into the numbers, into the stuff. And I'm not like Larry, that all is like this up here, and I can, but I was able, because we didn't have all of that outside distraction, to really focus. And I got to tell you, this was to me, one of the best Dan Bell talks I think I've ever heard. He seemed to really be on fire too. And it was contagious to me. It was really great to hear some of the things that he said. The big thing that stood out for me was when he said, "Tough times never last, but tough people do." Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you all. I've been coaching, for about 6 years, over 6 years. There have been a lot of tough times. A lot of times I doubted myself. A lot of times I thought, is this the right thing for me? And what kept me always coming back was the community, all of you. I thought, I don't want to leave coaching, because then I don't get to be around all of you. And to me, that's very, very important. And then also, who else is out there that we can bless, that we can share this with? And so I liked when he said that your ability will grow to fit the size of your dream. Mm. And I have a hard time dreaming. That's really been a struggle for me, is just figuring out what is it that I want. And so it's taken me a long time to really work on that. And that someday I'll, and I know somebody else just posted it down there, someday I'll. We don't want to be on someday I'll, where we look back with regret and go, I should have done it then. Someday I'll do that. And life's too short for that. So that really stood up for me. And, one of the things during Dr. A's Unplugged on Sunday was sort of the message of, we are all on our own journey, and it's not a straight path, and there's going to be setbacks, and there's going to be obstacles. But if we just keep persevering and we just stay true to the course, we will win. And I think it's when we give up is when we fail. And those were things that really was like, I'm not perfect, and so that's okay. And it's just like he was telling people in his question and answer, we're going to have setbacks. And he used Shirley Mast as an example, and he showed that, yeah, she had setbacks, but she still was continuing to press forward. And I think, to me, that was very encouraging and inspiring. And so I'm using that with my clients now, and just kind of listening to them and helping them realize you're going to trip, you're going to fall down, you get back up, you learn from it, we move on. So those were some of the things that really stood out for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan. And Dan Bell, you are so right. That was his best, I think. You hit it. I mean, he was just on, and it was funny because we had talked to him, I think a week and a half ago, and we had a one-on-one with him, and he was like, he goes, this is hard for me. And he goes, because there may be clients on the call, there may be other people on the call. He goes, and I want to try to make sure they understand what we're about. And so I give him, big kudos. We texted him right after and let him know that. But one of the things, my hope is, I told Dee, I'm like, I want that in front of my boys. I want my boys to hear that. I think anybody can get a lot out of that speech. So again, he was fantastic. So good stuff. So thank you again for sharing, Susan. So appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys for your comments. I love it's funny. I'm trying to read those and listen, so I'm not catching all of them, but I do get to see the chat after the call. It is interesting, like it all touches us a little bit differently, you know, the one big quote or the one thing, but there is a common denominator that most of us need this reminder to get out of our head, don't we? I mean, I think that what holds us back in really realizing our full potential, you know, in this or in any aspect of life is when we get stuck with the self-doubt, or we get stuck with wondering what people are thinking of us, and do people really care, and do I, you know, do I have anything intelligent to say, and all of that. But but the reality is, if we can shut down that noise, what we got this weekend was we got back into the heart, right? We got back into the heart and the passion, and why are we doing this, and why is this so important to us? And I just wanted to just share kind of a little bit on my personal journey on the difference of when you begin leading with your heart than leading with your head. And Larry and I were talking about this earlier, and I'm an extremely analytical person. I was an economics major in college. I am an achiever. I am a doer, and I can do the do. I can outdo anybody. Like I can put the post up, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I'm consistent, and I'm persistent, and tenacious. But what happened for a long time in my business was I was missing the heart. I would go to an event and I would get inspired, and I would just be this crazy energy after the event and all this attraction of people. And then I would let the noises start talking again. And then before I knew it, I'd start slipping away again. And I was doing the do, but not as much heart. And so one thing I would question is that sometimes, are you just doing the do? Or is it a post because you feel like you're supposed to post and throw something out there today? Or did it come from your heart? And so I'm going to give you 5 things to do with this heart energy, but I wanted to share something because I always feel like when I hear something, or if a message comes at a specific time, it is for me to hear. And if I need to hear it, there's probably somebody else that needs to hear it. And I had shared, most of you guys know I'm a big word of the year person. I think it's important. Word of the year can be great if you actually apply it and use it. But my word of the year for this year was flow, because I really wanted to reach a point that I could be present and really enjoying a moment, be in that moment, not really worried about the outcome and what was going to be, or thinking about the past, but really be present and let just the energy flow through. And I struggle with that. I struggle being present, and I read a great book on it because that's what I do. I'm an analyst, you know, so I read a great book, and it talked about the brain, but it was a really cool thing when they talked about the state of flow, that we actually reach a place in our brain where we stop, that fear doesn't exist. So this book was a lot about extreme athletes, you know, these people that do these crazy things, and you're like, how on earth are they navigating that, or that big wave, how are they doing it? But it's a mental state that people get into where the fear doesn't exist, and it's just their whole being, and they're just functioning. And that's a sweet spot to be. Like, if you can be that place as a coach, to just be with somebody, right? And be with them, and not worried about what are you going to say, or how are you going to respond if they don't want to, you know, pay that price or whatever, but just be with them. So today I heard a podcast by Tony Gonzalez, and Tony was a college football athlete and played for the Atlanta Falcons, right? And he was talking about the word flow, but I just want you to hear what he said, because I thought it was so applicable to what we're talking about. And he said, anyone who is highly successful knows how to get into their heart. That is where the flow is. No fear of judgment. You'll never be as good as you can be without first getting into your heart. And he talked about how the coaches would say to them, get out there, play with your heart, stop thinking about it, right? And that was a big thing in the athletes field. And he said, you can get by with hard work and doing the do. You can get to your highest level with your heart. And he said, flow is a heart state. And that just gave me goosebumps, because that was a fundamental shift for me. And what he said he said, picture your heart with your heart opening and light shining out of it, shooting out. Look around and see joy around you and your connection into that. And he said, and that allows you to be in your space and present and be the best version of yourself. That's actually a changing of the neuroplasticity of your brain. And he said a good self-talk is, he still says it to himself, and I'm going to do this too. He would say, stay present, get into your heart. So a good thing to think about is you're setting up for a health assessment. If you are reaching out to somebody to approach, stay present, get into your heart. So I had 5 things that I think that I'm doing this week that I think that could be helpful to you to walk away with this energy. And if you want to take some notes on it, and I'll also post. But I really encourage you to do a heartfelt post or a Facebook Live about you, your journey, and why you coach. Just something that comes from you. Julie Apple did an incredible one today. You might want to go over and look at Julie's page. You know, she said she struggled all weekend with what to say and how to share about it. But it came to her today and she shared, and it's a really awesome post. Second thing would be follow up with everyone you invited. And if you did a watch party, anybody who tuned into it, and just lead with your heart. Just, what did you think? You know, tell me what you got from the weekend. Gina Manley shared this morning that she started following up with her people, and had 2 new clients by noon by doing her follow-ups. Write down the names of everyone who came to your heart this weekend. People that you thought, oh, I wish they could hear this, whether it's for the program or coaching, and then approach them this week. Number 4, follow up with anyone you've spoken to about coaching or the program. So go through your binder, go through your follow-ups, and but do it this time from your heart. You know, Vicki, I was thinking about you, and I'm making this up, but you know what I mean? But I was thinking about you. I was thinking about when we talked about your health journey and what you told me you wanted. And just coming off this weekend, I just felt like I needed to talk to you again about this and see where you are. So I was talking with a coach today, and she was like, yeah, I don't want to call. I know I should follow up with people, but I don't want to be bugging people. And then we slowed down and we talked about, what if you approached it from your heart? How would that feel different if we shut down the brain? And then the last thing is, I'm just curious if you guys, I forgot to write down these numbers, but well over 100, 150 people in our Eat, Live, and Be Optavia group. We posted that video that Rebecca Davis made of some of our coaches when we were doing the Pay It Forward. We posted that, and that, you guys, has like 150 likes. That's in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, and it's also in Healthy for Life. So I encourage you to go back to that post, and I want you to click on like and look at all the names of people that liked it. And if it's Healthy for Life, reach out to those people with your heart and just say, hey, I saw you liked the video we did. And just see if you can, you know, move that into conversation about where they are. And if it's somebody who's in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia who liked that video, have you ever, let's, you know, invite them to do a Coach Explore with you. So that's what I have. What do you got, Larry?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
No, actually, I think Dee is going to give me a lesson on my heart after this. So, but no, I mean, that was awesome. And again, Tony Gonzalez, I think he's still in the Atlanta area. We got to get him. We got to get him for one of our coaching sessions here. So get him on for Monday night, right? But no, that's it. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Hope again you enjoyed the weekend if you attended. And again, go back to the information that's there. Dan Bell, that video is going to stick with me for a while. I know I'm going to use that several times. So anyway, with that, we're going to go over to Dr. A's call. We love you guys all, and just that's it. It's a wrap. Take care.
All right.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.